Coach, talk about the stretch you're on, you know, the way y'all been playing lately.
Well, the stretch we're on right now is a rest stretch, thankfully, which I think we really need. Probably comes at a perfect time. You know, if we could have picked, like, when do we want the week off, it would be this one, I think. But last week was a great week in some ways. You know, we got done just what we needed to do, but maybe at times didn't play, you know, perfectly. But you know, it's competition's pretty good right now. Played some awfully good teams, and I'm just thankful our guys have risen to every challenge.
They talked about starting late, kind of slow the last two games, but they brought it on late. It's something you probably got them about.
You know, not really, not yet, because if you look at our whole season, last couple months, you'd almost look at it the opposite. We started great so many times, especially at home. You know, we built some big leads at home. If you look at the Tulane game, you know, just by itself, Tulane played, in my opinion, the best half that anyone played coming in here, and that was coming off of our Cincinnati game, which was, you know, hard to get ready emotionally. And then you look at the next game, we're at Houston, and I would say at this point, arguably the biggest game of the year for them, and we're on the road, and they're really good. So, you know, I'm not bothered by it. If two or three more of those games, if we start slow again, then we might talk about it. But I'm really just more focused on, you know, what happens over the whole 40 minutes, really.
How much do you think the guys like playing from behind?
As
much as you can like it.
Yeah, probably not. Probably they would much prefer not doing that. But the best part about last week, I think it kind of started in the Cincinnati game at Cincinnati. You know, we dug a hole and came all the way back. I think that's always good to draw from. But last week was fantastic because it happened twice. So I'm actually thankful for it, because who knows if it happens again. I do know that usually tournament time, you know, sometimes you can't dig yourselves out of big holes. But I also say this, that deficits have way more with me to do with how much time is left than what the score is. So if you find yourself down 10 points with 30 minutes to go, that's obviously a heck of a lot different than you're down 10 with 3 minutes to go. That's a whole other scenario. So I think hopefully it'll be something that turns out to be a positive for us.
Talk about you Saturday game is against UConn. The team gonna be different than you played in the first time.
For sure. We had one of those days when every single thing went right. You probably have 5 or 6 of those a year. I'm guessing we've used those up. I hope not, but we may have, and they're playing awfully well, playing with a lot of confidence. Kind of have found themselves, you know, they were struggling a bit early in the year, trying to figure out with their injuries and everything. But you're talking about one of the top programs in the country over the last 20 or 30 years, and the pride they have and the expectations there and the way they play at home. So I don't think this game will resemble the one before in any way. I wish it would, but I don't think so.
You like to talk about how the guys are always in here outside of practice time. They had 2 days off. How many of them found their way in here?
Every single one of them. Everyone. See, they think we're taking days off, but I know that we're not. They force me to shorten practice because I know they're going to be in here on their own so much. So I know they're going to get a lot of skill work. We do a lot of skill work, but honestly, as a group, it's the most dedicated team that I can ever remember coaching, and I'm talking about everybody. Obviously, some individuals that have been amazingly dedicated, but as a team, this would be number one in all the years that I've coached.
Anything else? Anybody else? Thanks, Coach.